Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
So today we're jumping right into the same campaign by Kadir Kubas. Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got the descriptions, the ads, the film info, basically trying to unpack his critique, on how social media might be making us all a bit, well, the same.
That's the core of it. Our mission here is really to understand that critique about identity in this digital world.
So when you first saw this campaign, this same idea, what kind of jumped out at you? What was the immediate feeling?
Well, it's how Kubas just instantly hits you with this feeling of sameness, this uniformity. It feels really familiar if you spend any time online.
Right.
And that central question he asks, if everything is so same, who are we really? It's not just like a throwaway line. It really challenges how we exist online.
And the way he visualizes that challenge is, well, it's stark. The black and white posters, they feel like they just suck the individuality right out, don't they?
Exactly. It mutes everything, a real contrast to how colorful the internet usually is.
And then, boom, these bright yellow, completely blank faces slapped on top, like emojis, but empty. What's the deal with that contrast?
That's very deliberate. Those yellow circles, yeah, like featureless emojis. They work so well to show this anonymity and also the performance aspect of being online.
Performance.
Yeah, like you're putting on a face, but there's maybe nothing really behind it. A sort of hollow absence is how some describe it. No real emotion.
Okay, that makes sense. And it seems like everything reinforces that, even the typeface. Really simple. And that little dot after same on the posters.
It all builds this feeling of relentless repetition, simplicity over and over.
Yeah, like a visual echo. And the way people are posed in those images, it doesn't feel natural. It feels quite deliberate, almost stiff. Is that questioning our own choices online?
Absolutely. The compositions feel staged, right? And it makes you wonder, are we actually choosing freely, or are we just copying poses we see everywhere, striking the right pose?
Because the algorithm likes, maybe?
Could be. It taps into that idea of performative behavior, maybe influenced by what gets traction online, encouraging more of the same.
Okay, so beyond the visuals, which are pretty powerful, what's the main message? What does Kubas want us to take away?
The message is actually quite direct. Less social media, more of you. Simple.
Ah. So it's not just pointing fingers, it's offering a kind of solution.
Exactly. It's framed as a warning, maybe, about the current zeitgeist, the spirit of the times, but also as a starting point, a nudge to actively look for our own individuality again.
And this carries over to the campaign film, too. I heard it's really short.
Yeah, just 20 seconds. But it uses that same look, single figures, those yellow emoji faces. It mirrors the posters visually.
And I understand there's no talking, just music.
No speech at all. Just this single piano note repeating over and over. It kind of brings that feeling of uniformity to your ears, too. It's pretty effective, actually.
Wow, yeah, that single note. It sounds quite hypnotic, maybe even a bit. Unsettling, like getting stuck in a loop.
Unsettling is a good word. It underscores that feeling of being caught in these repetitive digital loops, these behaviors. It's quite clever how that simple sound conveys being stuck.
So the film basically takes everyday moments, or what look like them, and frames them as performances, like we're doing things for the algorithm.
That's the suggestion. It makes you, the listener, maybe pause and think, how much are these online patterns influencing our actual real-world actions, even our feelings?
It connects back to the posters then,
Right.
urging us to look closer at the sameness we see, maybe even in ourselves.
Precisely. The film asks you to question it. Are these your genuine choices, your real expressions, or are you just reflecting the echo chamber?
So pulling it all together, the posters in the film, it's a very consistent, very unified critique.
Definitely. It's cohesive. The design choices, that specific yellow for anonymity, the repetitive structures in both visuals and sound, they all hammer home this potential loss of difference, of individuality in the digital age.
It's quite a powerful statement on identity today.
It really is. Kubas uses the campaign, I think, to get us thinking about the trade-offs. What are we gaining and what might we be losing in this super connected world? How's our sense of self being shaped, maybe without us even noticing?
It certainly leaves you with a lot to chew on, whether you work in design or communications, or really just anyone reflecting on their life online.
Yeah, it's relevant to so many of us.
And it keeps coming back to that simple, direct slogan.
Less social media, more of you.
In a world that feels increasingly similar, maybe just, being yourself is actually a pretty radical act these days.
That's a great way to put it. Which leads to a final thought, perhaps for you listening.
Yeah.
Where do you see this sameness appearing in your own life? In what specific ways? And maybe what's one small thing you could do, one small step to express your own unique self a bit more?